What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig. We're going to be taking a look at the charts. Stick around for the whole video and do one thing before we begin. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for daily updates. We're going to be taking, this might be a little bit longer than normal, but we're going to be looking at the Dow, the S&P, DXY, Bitcoin, gold, silver, oil, and Tesla. As I've been showing, all these charts are over a year old. I'm going to look at the macro and I'm going to show you why it hasn't changed in my opinion. Definitely stick around for the whole video. There's going to be a lot of packed info in here. I will try to make it as quick as possible. Got a busy day today, so let's get into it. So looking at the Dow Jones, right? If we do get a pop up, remember it is the FOMC day. They are going to make their rate decision today. Obviously, there's going to be some volatility in the market, so be very careful if you are trading. Make sure, especially today, if you're trading, make sure to use stops and also make sure you manage your risk. Do not try to get rich off one trade today. Use low leverage if you're using any at all. Just be careful. So, as you guys can see, our Dow is now we are again below the golden pocket zone right here. We keep getting rejected up here. Now, if we get above this, we could go as high as the 35,200, somewhere in that range, which would be the 0.786. That is a possibility if we get a big spike today. But if we do, I think it'll be very short-lived. As you can see here in the RSI, we definitely look like we're coming back down to the downside. If we put a trend line off of these two wicks on the bottom, we should be heading back down to this range. As you guys know, I've had this target 30,221 for probably about 6 months. So let's take a look at S&P. S&P, we again got rejected at the center line, the heart line of this rising channel. If we get back above this, we could soar back all the way up to the top. A lot depends on what happens today, right? But most likely we come back down, and remember, if we break this bottom trend line here, and that's going to be somewhere around the 39.50 range, that would get us to our next target, about 34.50, right in that range. Could go much lower. I'll talk about that. DXY, so the DXY does look like we're making a W pattern. Now, we've talked about this for a long time. If we do break this low, we could come all the way back down to this golden pocket zone, right? Which would retest this trend line on the RSI. Now that meaning the market spike up and then the DXY spikes down. But even if that happens, I think the DXY is still very bullish. You guys know my opinion on that. I know everybody's screaming the dollar is dead and blah, blah, blah. Perhaps it will be, but it's not going to die overnight, right? So I think they'll get one big, huge rally out of it. Remember, when they put fear into something, which it's in the dollar, that's because they're going to be getting into it, and they're going to be buying very cheap stocks, very cheap houses, very cheap cars, very cheap, a lot of stuff at the end of this year. As you guys know, I think the Bitcoin bottom will be sometime in September, October, matching up with traditional markets bottoms, right? Could it take longer? Absolutely. But that's the same thing I've been talking about since December of 2021. Been talking about September, October being the true bottom. Now, taking a look at oil, this chart is also very old. I made this chart, I think, back in August or September. And I talked about breaking this bottom trend line if it did come back up for a retest, which we got. And my target is 62.70. But if this breaks, we could go as low as 27 bucks for oil. I know a lot of people are going to say that's impossible. No way we can do it, guys. Oil's pretty manipulated. Remember when it went to negative 40 over here? So just remember that. I have not changed these targets since the middle of last year. Still looking for that 62.70. If that breaks, then we're looking for the 27. Does that mean it happens in a day? No. It's just a target, which we are heading down to, right? Remember, everyone was calling for $150 and $200 oil right here. I was not. I was calling for it to break down, retest, and continue down to our target, which we are almost there. Before we go any further, check out my sponsor, Prime XBT. Link is down below in the description. And check it out. You can trade crypto, forex, gold, silver, oil. They've added aluminum, zinc, all kinds of stuff from one exchange. no KYC. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. You could use my promo code Savvy50. Will get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. You can also do copy trading section on here. There's also, if you go up here, there is a, where is it here? I think it's on the main screen. You go to the main screen, you can actually join contests and win tradable funds with absolutely no risk. It's free. Definitely check it out. You can actually win funds that you can actually trade and keep the profits. So anyways, looking at the weekly, right? I showed you guys this in the last few videos. You got higher highs on the RSI right here, higher highs right here. We are in a downtrend still, regardless of what everybody's saying about being extremely bullish. As you guys know, I think this is a relief rally, bear market rally, which is ending, if not already ended, right? But you can see there's hidden bearish divergence. You got higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action for a continuation of the trend. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go up a little higher. Remember, there's going to be a lot of volatility today because of FOMC meeting, right? Let's take a look at these targets here. So the first one, we were watching this white trend line here, bottom trend line. You take a measured move of that from the widest point to where it broke out of that falling wedge. That got us at 28.6, which now seems to be acting as resistance. But we also had this target. You're looking at the yellow dotted trend line here as a falling wedge. Take the measured move of that to where it broke. Where does that get you? We've talked about this for about 3 months now. 31.5. That is where I think we get rejected. Obviously, if it does get up there, we could get a wick above, but that's the highest I see us going from here. And then a major continuation to the downside. And then we're going to have support somewhere around this 20,700. Now, this is on the daily. We have different areas on the 4 hour, right? Depends on what you're doing there. But I do think we will get a bottom somewhere in between 35 and 9,500 between September, October, somewhere in that time frame this year. May take a little bit longer, like I said, but you could see in the RSI, plenty of room for downside. This here, I have not changed either. I do think we are going to head down here. Let me take a look at Tesla, and then we'll go into the smaller time frames after gold and silver. We'll look at the 4 hour Bitcoin chart. For those of you who think that I hate Bitcoin, I don't hate Bitcoin. I read the charts and I tell you what I think is going to happen. None of this is financial advice, obviously, but so far so good. We called the 64 top and the 69 top, and I still think we're going down further for the bottom. So looking at Tesla, as you guys know, from way back here, I told you if we broke this trend line at 230, we would be heading down to 211 if that broke, 183 if that broke, 151. I told you watch these for bounce areas, right? We got our bounce at 106. I do think we still get down to that $50 to $60 level for Tesla. I will be a buyer at these levels. That may be towards the end of this year. Still headed down. We got our bounce off 151 again. We could get as high as 183, 185, and then continuation down. Go test this 106 again, probably get a bounce, and we'll hit the 49 to 50 to $60 range, somewhere in there. Gold, this chart is also 2 years old. Look at this as an ABC correction, right? We have not broken the B, so as long as we don't break this up here, I still think we're headed down. I've had this target for 2 years, 15.59. Still think we're going to go there. The macro has not changed. And that would be, if that's an ABC, that would be the end of the correction, then continue up from there. But if that breaks, we're looking for around 14.24. If that breaks, then all hell is breaking loose and the markets are going to get very crazy, right? Could go way, 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 way down. A lot of people will call that crazy. The people that call that crazy are people that do not understand markets, right? So this is the silver chart. Same thing. This is about 2 years old. Still have this target down here, 1560. If that breaks, $7. Remember, guys, when the markets crash, which I think is happening, I think we're about to witness the biggest money grab in history by the end of this year. I've been talking about it for 2 years. Be careful. Be cautious. Don't get caught up in the FOMO. Yeah, just do your own due diligence, guys, and be careful who you're watching. A lot of these guys that are telling you the bottom's in, they were calling for $300,000 Bitcoin 2 years ago. They were calling for $100,000 Bitcoin last year. Be careful. They also said it would never break below 38,000, right? Be careful, guys. So anyways, just want to get this out there. I'm trying to share this with you, help you guys look at the market in a different way instead of always, if you want to watch bullish channels, watch pretty much every channel out there, because they really just watch Bitcoin. You can't do that. You need to watch the traditionals as well, right? So back to this. These were them targets I just showed you. We're on the 4 hour now. 28.7. I did put a short in yesterday. I tweeted it is short season. I put a tweet out yesterday. You can check it when I entered this trade. If I lose, no big deal. I didn't go high leverage. I didn't go, all in. But I did want to get in just in case this does hold as resistance, with my stops up here just above it, about 28.9, right? So if we do break down, you guys know my target is 25.8. It has been since we broke over here, this rising channel. We did get some wicks above it, but we did continue down and get rejection. So 25.8 is still what I'm looking for there. If that does not hold, obviously we'd be heading down to 20,000 range. But I showed you guys in a few videos, this will take time, right? Unless we just get a huge capitulation in the market. But that could be wave 1, this be wave 3, wave 4 here, maybe get another rise up and then come down to break it. But nevertheless, I still think we see lower lows this year. Here's another way to look at it on the weekly. As you can see, I have this count in here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a falling wedge. 5 being sometime in September and or October, as low as 3,500, as I've been saying. But nevertheless, I do think we at least see a lower low, and I'll show you why in a minute. This is the Elliott wave count, 5 waves completed, correction here, which also would get us down to 3,500 to 9,500 range. And why do I say that? Because bubbles always return to where they began, just like here, Amazon and the .com bubble, right? And you had this rally right here. It doesn't look like it, but this was 100% rally before coming down to new lows, right? Always returns to where it began, just like over here. And I can show you another chart. This is the Nintendo bubble pop, right? Returned to where it began right here. And look at this big rally. Got everyone bullish, came down. Same thing here. Same thing, guys. I think we returned down to where we began. Like I said, 35 to 9,500. Same thing, Sony. If you look here, if the bubble started here, the bubble ended here. Always return to where it began. Anyways, that's about it for today. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure you smash the likes. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think the Fed rate hike is going to be today. I am curious to hear what you guys think about that. I think at least 25, possibly 50. So anyways, have a great day. Be careful. It's going to get volatile today around the FOMC announcement. So have a great day.